Hello everyone, this is Jorasz here, and today I want to talk about just a little hints in the Super Smash Bros. Trailers, which clearly indicate to me that Nintendo has not only not forgotten Metroid Prime 4, but they are also just teasing it further. Now I know some people were pretty upset that we didn't get any footage or any news or just any like actual clear information about Metroid Prime 4 this past E3, and I admit I was a little disappointed. But after thinking about it, I remember noticing some little hints in the Super Smash Bros. Trailers that clearly show that Nintendo has not in the least forgotten about Metroid Prime 4, and in fact they seem more like they're telling us not to forget about Metroid Prime 4. One of the things was that in the fighter roster video, each character has a number which tells you when they were added to the Super Smash Bros. Roster in history. So you would think all of the characters would show up in consecutive order, right? Well, it turns out that the character second only to Mr. Nintendo himself, or aka Mario, is actually the one and only Samus Aran. Which seems to me that, like I said, Nintendo is letting people know that Samus is actually more significant than some may suppose. One other thing which may not actually be that significant, but I still think is when they show the great big artwork showing all the characters, the one who is kind of in the center is actually not Mario. Mario's actually not even close to the center. But someone who is actually kind of in the spotlight and is pretty roughly in the center is actually Samus herself. Once again, bringing some sort of spotlight on Samus. This next one you might not think is actually a hint, but I find it interesting that they decided to call clone characters Echo Fighters. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I haven't really played a whole lot of games other than Metroid games. But there are only a few other instances I can think of where the word Echo was used, and they're all from Metroid games. A few are from Metroid Prime 2, for instance. The obvious thing being that there are dark echoes of many different things on this planet called Ether. In fact, Ether itself has a dark echo of itself. You've got Ether and dark Ether. And then you have dark echoes of light creatures and whatnot with the Ing. You also, of course, have the first time you see Dark Samus, which is sort of like a dark echo of Samus. Which is funny, considering that later on, Dark Samus was revealed as an Echo Fighter of Samus. So it's kind of like it's proving my point. And then there's, of course, the fact that the Annihilator beam is called the Echo Key beam. Now, of course, this really refers to sound, considering that the Annihilator's beam combo is called Sonic Boom. And what you use it for is for these sound wave blocks. But if you really think about what the Annihilator beam is itself, light and dark power mixed together, so it's like they're echoes of each other. And then there's, of course, in Metroid Prime 3, where Dark Samus can spawn a clone of herself, aka a Dark Echo. So once again, it seems only fitting that Dark Samus is an Echo Fighter of Samus, which to me is yet another hint that Nintendo is letting people know, hey, Metroid deserves a little more attention, even if Dark Samus herself was highly requested. And then there's, of course, the fact that Ridley was also added. I mean, I really don't want people to count Zero Suit Samus as another Metroid rep, because Zero Suit Samus is just Samus without her suit. It's still the same character. So really, Ridley was the second Metroid character ever in Smash. Something I find interesting, though, is the fact that after Ridley demonstrates his final Smash, they don't end the video there, but rather give a short little clip right after that showing Samus survive the final smash and, head right towards Ridley, like presumably about to kick him in the face or something. Now that couldn't actually be gameplay footage, because, that's not what happens in Smash. But that short little cinematic in and of itself seems like a teaser for Metroid Prime 4. Just letting people know that, hey, Samus actually survived this and she's about to kick butt. So suddenly, Metroid is getting a whole lot more attention than it ever has. And with the number of people who really don't seem to know anything about Metroid, it's like Nintendo, as I have said twice already, is now the one telling people not to forget about Metroid. I bring up the fact that not a whole lot of people seem to know that much about Metroid because, judging from reaction videos that I've watched,
a lot of people think Dark Samus is just Dark Suit Samus or just, evil Samus from within or something, and don't really know that Dark Samus is her own.
Is the concept of turning the term clone into Echo Fighter really a Metroid reference? I don't know, but it just seems like an interesting coincidence. And I know, some people were disappointed that Dark Samus was not her own character. I mean, I'm a little disappointed myself, really. But honestly, I'm not worried. There are a lot of characters that start out as Echo Fighters and other characters that are still like Echo Fighters. Ganondorf, for instance, started out as Captain Falcon's Echo Fighter. Falco started out as Fox's Echo Fighter, and as far as I know, is still kind of like Fox's Echo Fighter. But then some of them later on developed their own unique attributes, like Ganondorf, for instance, doesn't really work like Captain Falcon at all anymore. And considering that this Smash game includes every single character, I personally would think that if they were going to try to top that in the future, they would do the same thing. That being said, should Dark Samus show up again in a later game, it is reasonable to assume that she's going to be her own character with her own, unique attributes. And there are a number of things I can think of that she could do that are pretty darn unique, but, that's not what this video is all about. It is nice, though, that even though the Echo Fighters are based off of another character, they still possess some unique properties. Dark Samus's pose, for instance, being like, she's got like sort of this menacing claw, or that she floats in the air. That's really cool and also really accurate. It is a bit of a long shot, but the fact that they chose Dark Samus's model from Metroid Prime 3 as opposed to Prime 2 could be sort of pointing to the continuity of the Metroid Prime storyline, since after Prime 3 is Prime 4. But like I said, that's kind of a long shot because I think the consensus is that the design of Prime 3 is cooler than the design of Prime 2. But no matter the case, what we have are these two Smash trailers which are giving Metroid a whole lot of love. So be of courage, Metroid fans. Nintendo has not forgotten. And the fact to me that we still have not been shown any footage at all of Metroid Prime 4 except for possibly the teaser seems to me that it's gonna be big. Kind of like the teaser they gave for Infinity War. And I really loved it. But that's all I wanted to talk about, basically. So thank you all for watching, who did. Hopefully I gave you all some encouragement. And if you weren't worried to start out with, well then, give yourself a pat on the back. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you all for watching. As always, God bless, and I hope to see you next time. Ciao.